Welcome. I'm Pamela Jackson, and I'm going to teach you how to make nice tea. First, we're going to talk about how I came up with the recipe. The recipe is in my book called Breast Health Dissolving Lumps. Now, the tea does not itself dissolve the lumps. The tea actually
Empowers.
your body to do what it's meant to do. Your body is meant to miraculously heal itself. The cells in your body regenerate, they replace cells that are bad, cells that have become infected, cells that die, and your body, if it doesn't have the right nutrients, the ingredients it needs to do that, then of course disease sets in, other things happen, and you find yourself with issues like fibromyalgia, arthritis, just not healing well, not going to the bathroom well, urination, prostate issues. In this case, when I developed this recipe, it was lumps in the breast. So it doesn't do it in itself. What it does is help your body to do what it was meant to do, which is get rid of those bad cells from forming and doing what it's doing to your body and helping your body to heal. So now that we've gotten that out the way, this is not a miracle cure. It is something that helps your body do what it's supposed to do. Let's get into it. The first thing I want to tell you is that if you have diabetes or some other issue that you have to watch your diet, please pay attention to what ingredients goes into this tea, because there is an ample amount of honey, because we have to mask the taste of some of the ingredients that are really good for you but don't taste good, right? So if you have diabetes, you have to watch your sugar intake. Please take this recipe to your doctor. Watch what I do. You can get the amount of the ingredients, talk to your doctor about it, and go from there. I will tell you that I would recommend that you make it without the honey, and then whatever sweetener you're able to use and the amount you're able to use it per cup. Now, I just recently made a batch, which you're going to watch me in that video, but I'm going to show you how much I drink. I drink about a half a cup of tea in the mornings and before I go to bed at night. It's best on an empty stomach. Works great. Tastes great. All right. Now, I want to explain a few things about the body and why this tea works and what will make it work even better. I'm going to give you 3 tips overall in this video, and one of them is that my book has a negative fruit salad recipe. You'll want that. Does the tea work without it? Yes, it does. Does it work better with this negative fruit salad? Yes, it does. And that's because the negative fruit salad is giving your body nutrients that it needs. It's giving you a basic foundation to promote health and to promote what the tea is going to do for you. Okay, so I know that you might think, oh, well, fruit salad, right? No, not just a fruit salad. It's a negative fruit salad. So read the book or just do some research on negative fruit. But the way I put the salad together, it makes it very tasty. And if you eat the salad, a small portion before each meal, it reduces calories. Next thing you know, you're losing weight. This is not a lose weight video, but it just happens to be a perk of having the negative fruit salad. And you might wonder, well, what is negative fruit? Well, it's fruit that when you eat it, it actually works off calories to the negative of what you've taken in. So if you eat it before a meal, it means it works off some of the calories. Your body does more work in working off calories in processing this fruit than it does in what it takes in. And so it will reduce the calories you're getting from a meal. Now, the plus about eating it before each meal, like for breakfast, that's the only thing I would eat a lot of times for breakfast. But the good thing is that eating it before a meal reduces the amount of the portion of the meal you can eat, because you've already filled your belly a bit with the fruit, right? So it's like a win-win situation. So we're going to stop there, and I'll give you a couple of more tips as we go. And I will tell you, this is the original recipe for nice tea. I do have an improved recipe. I'm not going to share the little tip about the improved because I am hoping to get a manufacturing deal, and maybe this will be on the shelves in a year or so, and you'll be able to buy it. Now, the ingredients are a little pricey. The honey by itself for one batch is 4 quarts, and the honey anywhere in the country is probably going to be $7 to $10 for the amount of honey you're going to need for the 4 quarts. So by the time if I were to make it for you, we're talking probably $10 to $12 just for 2 quarts that I charge. And that's for my friends, right? Because I don't have a commercial kitchen. I'm not doing this as a business at this point. So my friends would pay $10 to $12 for that if they say, hey, make this for me, or here's the ingredients. Now, if they say, here's the ingredients, maybe I'm charging them, $7 for my time. But yeah, the ingredients can get pricey, but it is worth it. It is worth it, you guys. I had fibromyalgia. I had arthritis. As a matter of fact, I have a finger that's crooked here. And when that finger started crooking up like that, and the doctor couldn't do anything for me because there's no cure per se for arthritis, I felt the same thing beginning to happen in my other fingers. And before they got crooked, I said, let me get back on this tea. I started making the tea again, started drinking the tea. And within a month, I noticed completely nothing in my hands and my joints anywhere. But from the first week, this finger that was so painful all the time, nothing, it was gone. So what I do now is just maintenance. I make sure that I'm drinking this tea. I fix it every couple of weeks. And I make sure I'm just drinking a little bit here and there, at least in the mornings. Aggressively drink it in the mornings and the evenings before you go to bed. But I'm telling you, it works. So let's get to it.
Okay, again, the ingredients are in Breast Health Dissolving Lumps by Pamela Jackson. You'll find the full recipe there. You will also find all of the actions that you need to take to put it together. You'll find good information about tips like using a little lemon juice to cut your onions, which the onion is the first and main ingredient of the tea. And then you will need 1 lemon. And this is for a portion of 4 quarts. So you need 4 quarts of water. And then we'll add apple cider vinegar. You're going to use about a half cup of apple cider vinegar. And you will also use ginger. You'll want to use some ground ginger. And the jar we have is a 10-ounce jar. We'll use half of that, and we'll use honey. So you will use about a cup of honey for 4 quarts, and then later add more honey, half a cup. And you want a straining cloth. Your straining cloth can be a cheesecloth, a regular straining cloth that you find at a general store. Even particularly, I like the Brillo. I think it's called Brillo Basics, and they're like wipes, but those work really good to strain out this product that we're going to be working with. Now, what I do is I cut the onion in slices. You're going to actually see me use double portions because I'm making 8 quarts. But remember, you're making 4 quarts. If you don't want to cut the onions, use easy onion. But you're going to be using the equivalent of 1 onion to 4 quarts of water. And I usually cut mine in slices, and I cut it in half, and then I break up all of the onion rings because it will boil better and faster for you. So remember, for 4 quarts, which is 1 portion, then you'll chop 1 onion. And this will last you usually a week or so, maybe even a week and a half, depending on how much you're drinking. But you drink a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening before you go to bed, and it's perfect portion, 4 quarts. So I didn't mention that you will probably want to have your container ready to measure out your 4 quarts. It can be the same container that you're going to actually put your mixture in when you're done. So pour 4 quarts in to a large pot. And you will see me pour in another 4 quarts because I am, at this video, making 8 quarts. Now, let's take the honey. This is a 32-ounce bottle of honey, which is about 2 cups. And my bottle happens to be short, about a half a cup or a little more. But I am making to a double portion, so I'm going to pour all of this in. And I realize that I still need, at the end of this process, to add a little more honey. Normally we add a half cup more for 4 quarts. I'm going to be adding about 1.5 cups of honey at the end of the process. Next, we'll take our ginger, and normally the ginger comes in a 10-ounce bottle. We will be using 5 ounces. 5 ounces, so that's half a bottle of ginger for 4 quarts. In this video, you're going to see me use the whole bottle. Why? That's right, I'm making a double portion. Now that we are done with the ginger, we are going to add the lemon. You want to cut your lemon into 4 quarters. Squeeze the lemon as best as possible into the mixture. You will see me squeeze 8 quarters because I'm making a double portion. This will last. I can make a double portion because it will last well in the refrigerator, but I put it in a very high temperature refrigerator that doesn't quite freeze it, but it does hold it a little icy, so it lasts a little longer for me, so I can fix 2 portions. Next, we're going to work with the apple cider vinegar. You will want to put a half cup of apple cider vinegar into your mixture. I am using a 2-cup measuring cup, so I'm going to measure half of that, which is 1 cup, for a double portion that I'm making today. And the apple cider vinegar and the onion both have very strong taste. So does the ginger. It's very strong flavor. So the honey is an important factor to sweeten the tea and bring it to a nice palatable flavor. You want to stir this, and we're going to take it over and set it on a high heat. Once we put it on that high heat, we want to bring it to a boil quickly. And then we are going to turn it down a little bit, slightly cover it, and then let it continue to boil just a little bit. And something to do in between time is to work with the tea bags. Once we put the pot on to boil, you'll want to decide to either go sit down and wait for it to boil or get your tea bags ready. It's optional. The tea bags are going to add some additional flavor. I personally like the mango peach flavor, so I will use Bigelow, chamomile mango, and the perfect peach. Sometimes I use a different peach or mango, but I really like the blend of those flavors. If you enjoy that, you might like orange tea, or you might like an apple cider. The thing is, you want to make sure that it's caffeine free, and which is what I was pointing out, and you'll want to make sure that it is an herbal tea. Yes. And so to 4 quarts, you want to use 6 bags. You can use more if you want to increase your flavor. Just all depends on what you want. And so I take 3 bags, open them up, and if you have the ones with the tabs on them, we're going to want to cut those tabs off and tie a knot in them. I found that if you do not tie a knot in them, they are more prone to open inside your tea, and then you'll have a mess trying to strain out all of the loose tea leaves. So here I am going to cut these tabs off, and I do 3 bags at a time. And that works good for actually stirring in the pot without the spoon getting caught in all of the tea leaves. So we just tie a knot in, and then I will double knot it so that I can be sure it doesn't just wiggle its way loose inside the water. And I'm going to do that for all 12 of my tea bags. And again, you're only going to have 6. Okay, now it may not be to a boil yet, but put those tea bags into your pot. You should see all of your goodies floating at the top. Your onions, your lemon, your ginger, everything is going to float at the top. So push those tea bags right on down into the mixture. And we're going to let this sit about 10 to 15 minutes, and it should come to a nice full boil. Now that it's boiling, you want to turn it down low, but still where it's going to boil, and then cover it. And you might want to leave the top a little sideways so that the steam can still escape, unless you have one of those tops with the holes in it for the steam to escape. You'll know when it has boiled enough because your onions will begin to have clear spots in them. They'll kind of start to get a little clearish and won't be quite as white. That's when they're ready, and then you're going to just turn off your stove and move the mixture off the hot eye. Now what's going to occur as it's cooling off is your lemons and onions, tea bags, everything, even the ginger, is going to begin to sink to the bottom. As it sinks to the bottom, which is what we want, then it's going to make it a lot easier for you to pour off your mixture and strain it. That's the only reason you want to wait till, well, other than the fact that it's really hot, right? But that's the only reason you want to wait till it cools off some, is so that all of the ingredients can sink to the bottom and settle, and it will make your job of straining a whole lot easier. As you watch here in the video, you can see the ingredients just about gone. They're sinking to the bottom. So the tea has cooled for about 30 minutes. Everything is at the bottom of the pot, and I'm going to use a strainer and a large bowl. And I have my cloth ready to strain, the ingredients. So let's get started. First, we're going to open the straining cloth, and this particular package is already folded over. The cloth is folded over twice. So I'm going to unfold it once and then refold it in the direction I want it to go so that it's wide enough to fit across the holes in my strainer. And the thing is, certain cloth, particularly like the one I'm using now, because this is the first time I'm using this cloth, the holes seem to open up or kind of gape open a little bit when I am pouring in my solution in the tea product. So I didn't really care for this one, but my favorite is the Brillo Basics cloth. And so this one, I had to double it up several times to get it to strain the way it should. So just giving you my thoughts on that. You might use cheesecloth or even this kind of cloth, and maybe it works well for you. Maybe you have a trick for it. So I'm just pouring it in slowly, trying to get the cloth to stay in place. And it's not doing a great job, this particular cloth. But it is catching everything. that I needed to catch. I'm kind of glad it's gathering up in the middle, because that's making it thicker so that it will catch more of the ingredients. And so once I fill the bowl to a certain point, I'm going to, well, at this time, just kind of adjust the cloth, and probably end up putting some more cloth, maybe fold this over and put another piece in there in a minute. But I am going to grab another pot. So we need another large pot, just an empty pot, nothing in it. And we're going to pour our strained mixture into the empty pot. Now remember, I'm making a double portion, so you will be able to quickly strain this. You'll strain it a little faster than I am, since I have more to work with. And you want to be sure it cools off, so that you're not dealing with a mixture that's too hot. Now I'm at the end, and you'll notice that all of the goodies, the onion and the lemon and the ginger, is at the end of the pot. I will not pour all of that into the strainer. What I'm going to do is I'll take a spoon and I'll begin to press. I just laid the pot over on its side on the counter, and I'm pressing out all of the more concentrated flavor that is in the lemons and the honey and the tea bags. Now don't press the tea bags too hard, because you don't want to break them open and ruin all the work that you've done so far. See, now we have all the pulp that's just in the straining bowl, and I did add some more cloth. You'll notice I added some more of the straining cloth. And I think I won't put this on camera, but what I am going to do, I'm not satisfied that every bit of pulp got out. So what I am going to do is grab one of my Brillo cloths, and it's called Brillo Basics, and I'm going to use that and strain this mixture one more time. Okay, now that we have strained it one more time, I have it pretty well strained, and it looks good. You'll just want to pour in some additional honey now. If you're making 4 quarts, you need a half cup more honey, and then put it in your container and refrigerate. In the rest of the video, I'll share a few more tips and information, and in the video, I'll be packaging the tea with my brand, and so hopefully you enjoy this.
So we're looking at the onions. Again, I'm giving you information directly from the book. And if we look at the chemical makeup, the photochemicals that are in the onions, there's makeup that seeks out radicals in your body. That's what onions do. There's a chemical makeup in it that when you eat it, it seeks out radicals in your body and destroys them. Radicals are the elements in the body that should not be there, that are looking to destroy the cells in your body. Onions are a great deterrent for that. Okay, but getting the right amount of onions into our bodies is difficult if you're just having onions on a hamburger or onions chopped up in a meal. So this tea is chock full of onion, and it is a key element of the tea. Okay, the honey. Most of you know already about the benefits of honey. Particularly in this tea, it's used as the only sweetener. So I do not advocate using white sugar, because that reduces what you're getting from the tea as far as the sweetener, and it increases calories, of course. This is a healthier calorie from the honey, so you want to use the honey. The ginger root actually fights flu. It fights the cold symptoms in your body. The ginger root is very good to prevent the growth of abnormal cells. Okay, and in that you got to think about cancer being abnormal cells. Uh, both the onion and the ginger help to fight the onset of abnormal cells that cause cancer. Look it up. You'll love what you find out. Now, lemons. Lemons are very high in vitamin C. Again, we're providing your body with what it needs to be able to fight against disease, to fight against impurities in the body, and to heal itself. Okay? Now, let me read this to you. Lemons are very high in vitamin C, and according to the American Heart Association, lemons lower the risk of stroke in women. Okay, because lemons are very good, a very good source of flavonoids. They help to protect against cancer and cardiovascular heart disease. I'm telling you, this tea, it's awesome. It's awesome. Apple cider vinegar is another ingredient. Again, many people know about apple cider vinegar. They'll drink just a little bit in the mornings, what have you. It's in this tea. And apple cider vinegar is made relatively the same way the alcohol is made. First, the sugars are formatted and turned into alcohol, and then bacteria are added and allowed to ferment. So, again, if you're diabetic, I would talk to your doctor about the ingredients in this tea. If you otherwise have to watch your sugars as well, talk to your doctor first about this tea. If you're overall healthy as far as being able to have a regular diet, then by all means, you should try this tea. Okay, the benefits. When the apple cider is formed correctly, the benefits is that microorganisms are created in the fermented mixture, and they're able to overcome and take out the kind of microorganisms that can kill us. That's what apple cider vinegar can do in our bodies. So much more in this book that I explain about the research and the benefits of these ingredients. Combine all these ingredients and you have what you would think is a miracle drink. It is really simply a drink to help you help your body. All right, let's get back to it. I hope you've enjoyed how to make the tea. And if you would, in the comments, please let me know what you think about it. Please let me know how well it worked for you. I'll tell you this quick little story. My granddaughter is 6 years old right now. When she was 3, she was feeling horrible. Now, as you know, with children, it's difficult to find the right thing to give them because you can't give them all types of medicines. And medicines are just designed to help your body as well do what it was meant to do, which is heal itself. And so for children, you have to be very careful what you give to them. So she was feeling absolutely terrible. We didn't know what was wrong with her. She was in like the second or third day of it. And my daughter is faithful, believes in the tea, just as many of my other family members. And so, like my other family members, my daughter came to me. She said, "Hey, we need some of the tea. We need to give her some of this tea." So we gave her some tea. She began to feel better within the same day. She drank the tea enough, probably a couple of times that day. Then she drank it the next day. And we prefer the tea warm. We prefer to put it in a cup, heat it, and drink it as a hot tea. And after a couple of days, she was completely better. We don't know what was wrong with her, but she immediately, from the first day of drinking the tea, started feeling better. So that was when she was 3. For the rest of that year, anytime she had any sickness, anything she thought was setting in, "Mama, I need my tea. I need to have the tea." And I wish she was here. She would give you a testimony. She is 6 now, and she still swears by this tea. It makes her feel completely 100% better in no time. Now, even when she has a cold and her mommy is giving her children's cold medicine, she says the tea is what makes her feel so much better, even though she still has a cold. I'm just telling you, that's one little quick testimony. And I love that testimony from her because she's so authentic. She's real. She tells the truth about everything. You know how children are, right? And the adult testimonies have been just the same, though. So I'd like to hear your testimony. Be sure to put something in the comments. Thank you for watching.